everyone, it's Kat and I'm back today with some fun green stuff going on my eyes and I can't wait to tell you. I've just done this look and I'm really obsessed with it. This is a new palette from Glaminatrix. Now this is already out, so if you want it, you can get it. It does come in two packaging varieties. The version that I have is the grounded palette, so it's got this beautiful sort of like mountain with roots design on it. These are vegan cruelty free. This is an Australian indie brand. It's got a really beautiful sort of just brown faux leather style packaging. So this is available on their website now. It comes in two options. One is the grounded, which is this, and it's all sort of like not only is it earthy tones, which I'll show you the palette very soon, but it's got names like anchored and steady and present and balanced and whole. Like, so you can have that sort of zen grounded feel to it if that's your vibe. It also comes in a bit of a funny style, which is the Tones of Turd palette. So it's got like a poo sort of emoji on it. All the names are renamed, so they have a lot funnier names, but the shades are identical. So it is the same palette, but just with a funnier version of packaging. So how did that come about? Essentially, they did an April Fool's joke, which was Tones of Turd. People actually really wanted it. So they had this palette coming out and they decided to make a different packaging variation if you wanted to go in and have that sort of more joke style. So you've got two options with this palette. It is available now. It is 95 Australian dollars, which is around 62 US dollars. You can also get 10% off your order if you use the code CAT, K-A-T. So if you wanted to do that, go for it. I'm going to jump into showing you this palette and showing you the look I've created because I'm really impressed. And if you like indie quality makeup, so let's talk about the old school, very, very pigmented, very soft, very blendable, crazy, reflective sort of shades. This is going to be one you want to pay attention to because Glaminatrix have gone a little bit more sort of buildable, wearable, twinkly, beautiful recently, which I really like. But I also love that they've gone this sort of makeup lover formula is what I would call it. So let's get into the review. Okay, I haven't actually opened this palette yet because I wanted to show you how it was packaged because it's, look, to me it indicates there's some fragile shades there, but it has come in a padded bag, great. It was wrapped in bubble wrap with sort of these foam bits to keep it sort of stable. Then the box was inside that. Inside the box was the palette wrapped in more bubble wrap. And then inside the palette, I've never seen this before, but I think it's kind of cool, is these little foam discs to protect the shimmery shades. So this is absolutely packed to the max, which is great. It's showing that Glaminatrix are taking fragile shades really, really seriously, but it also implies to me that I haven't taken those bits off, but it implies to me that those are quite fragile shades. All right, so let's take out these inserts for the first time because I haven't actually done it yet. There is a sheet in here. Oh, they're popping out. Here we go. Give it a bit of a shake. This one's not wanting to come out, so I'm just going to use my tweezers just to give it a bit of help. Whoa, look at that. What a reveal. These are crazy. Look at this one looks like it's glowing. It's intense. And look at that shade. Oh my God. So from your angle, it's looking green. The middle part from my angle is looking blue. This is more of your beautiful sort of nude champagne brown color. You've got a beautiful yellow, which in my angle, it's picking up a bit of green iridescence. There's a vibrant green that looks like it's picking up a bit of pink from your angle. This is interesting. This is definitely a multi-chrome sort of color. I don't know if you can see, but it looks quite greeny, swampy green, but then straight on it looks red or like a maroon color, and then this marbled color, which again, from my angle, you can see it looks blue. You can see the side there looks blue. Stunning. The shimmers are so intense that I haven't even touched them, but they're already starting to transfer and get shimmer everywhere. So that's probably also why they had those little plugs in there, is I think they're, you know, slightly messier shades, but gorgeous. Okay, swatch time. And again, this is stunning. I am going to swatch obviously in rows. So I'm going to start here with the white, which is still, go all the way through. When I get to this row, I'm going to show you me swatching this because I want to see what color that makes. Because again, you see it looks crazy blue over there. Front on, it looks quite green. It's got that marbled gold in there. I need to just capture it on camera, really zoomed in, because we're never going to have that moment again. So don't worry, that will be shown. But let's start with the mattes. Matching my top today perfectly is that shade there. These are beautiful. Perfect lighting for a swatch day. Let's go with the white. So this is like a true white. Then we have that sort of, oh my God, look at the pigment behind that. Sunflower yellow. We've got this beautiful murky chartreuse, which again is the color that I'm wearing today. So obviously I like it. Shade names, Still, Anchored, Steady. Then we have Present, which is a nice sort of more olivey, like it doesn't look like it compared to the yellows, but it does have a bit of an olive tone to it. And Aligned, which is a dark brown. Let me just get a bit more. It's sometimes hard to pick up the pigment in the first sort of swatch, but there you go, dark brown. Holy moly, this is a completely different texture than I was sort of expecting. This is almost like flaky nail polish. You know, you get like the flaky nail polish with the big sort of particles. That's what this sort of looks like, this row. I'm super excited for. Okay, I was going to do one look in this review, but I think I might have to do a couple. This is called Whole. Oh, that's my new favorite shade of all time. It's a bit flaky and a bit chunky, but beautiful. Let me just change the lighting so it's not blinding us. This is Balanced. Oh, again, it's looking green in my angle. I'll show you from a different angle very soon. And this one here is Solid. This is that green one, but it looks like it's catching pink. Oh, these are so cool. Okay, I'm just going to pick up a little bit more. I'm just being really gentle with it because I don't want to like disrupt the pan too much. This is one of those sort of iridescent. So it doesn't feel chunky on the skin. It just feels a bit chunky when you're picking it up. You can see that green base and that pink shift. Is this camera cap? Hang on, okay, I think we're in focus a bit better now. But yeah, that green, like almost fluorescent green, which catching pink, and then on the side it's looking yellow. So I'll show you from the side in a second. But it's time to pick up Secure. Okay, so I'm going to pick up Calm on this finger just very gently. That's what that looks like. That looks like a nail polish that I have, which is very cool. And then Secure, feels like it's a sin doing this. I feel like, oh my golly. So this looks, wow, it looks sort of aqua blue. I'm mainly getting the blue because that's what I mainly have in this center bit. It's one of those shades that, because it's marbled, depending on the proportion of the shade you have or where it is, like where the colors are in the pan, you can have something slightly different. But this looks like sort of an aqua green front on, but on my angle it's looking quite blue. So let's see how it swatches. Start with Calm, stay calm. Whoa, this has okay, I do have a nail polish like this from ILMP. This has like a blue base to it and this sort of reddy shimmer. Wow, these are really fun. These are really fun. Time, it's the time. Oh, okay. So again, this is going to look different based on your palette where you pick up the eyeshadow in the shade. It's looking very green right now. In my angle, it's looking very blue. It is stunning. Some of them are a little bit messy, so I just lifted my finger. That one's super pigmented, same as this one here. So just be careful, like just pick up the smallest amount because it picks up very, very easily and it just gets a bit messy. So I'm just going to tap that out. This one is Clarity. I'm just going to re-swatch that one because I didn't pick up much, but it also does match my skin tone quite well. So it's Clarity. Then we have Trust, which is more of a, I don't know the description. This is very vibrant, true yellow. This is more of a caramel color, I suppose. We have this dark green, which I'm just being very careful picking up the smallest amount because it does disrupt the pan, but it's very, very pigmented, true sort of forest green. Then we have the name, I guess the title name is what I'm trying to say. So the name of the palette, this is Grounded, which is the color of the packaging pretty much. It's like a rich red earth sort of color. And then we have Reflect, which is sort of like an off black, or like a very blackened brown or something like that. They're beautiful. So yeah, very, very earthy. Obviously this is the star of the sort of palette, but you have some really nice, if you like autumn colors, if you're an autumn color palette, this would be absolutely your jam. I don't know what I'm actually going to be using from this palette today because I don't know where to start, but I'm very excited to start. All the brushes I'm going to be using are also from Glaminatrix. I did talk about their set in my last review. These are beautiful. They're in my regular rotation. I think there's 8 in the set, just because they're so lovely. So I'll be using their brushes. I'm going to set my base because I do have a bit of base on. It's getting a bit like creasy and sticky. So I'm just going to go in with Clarity because that's the closest to my skin color. Really lightly on the EO1 brush, just to sort of, again, just to set that and make sure that we're not getting a really weird blend. I'm just using the mirror and the palette. They put such beautiful quality mirrors in there. It's so easy to do your makeup just holding your palette. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm tossing up between this one and this one. I want to use them both. I actually think I want to use this one all over the lid, and then I might use the other one on the bottom lash line. This is the EO3 brush. You can see how it picks up kind of chunky, and you can see the reference I made to the sort of flaky nail polish texture, but this does blend out. You're just going to be very careful. I don't want to scrub my brush into it too much because it's going to chunk up and sort of make a bit of a mess on the pan, but I'm just going to see how this lays down. This might be one that I need to use my finger for, which is fine. Oh, it's very pretty. Okay, I'm going to use my finger really lightly and just because it picks up beautifully on the finger. And then I'm just going to tap it on this. Looks like glow in the dark. You can't see, I'm just tapping like this, not even scrubbing, because I'm just really cautious that it's a very, very delicate eyeshadow. But this color shift, what I love about it the most is that sort of glow in the dark green base. It just looks so unique that I'm taking this one and I'm just sort of blending it out a bit. It is so unique and so stunning. I would buy this palette just for this one shade. If I turn down the darkness, hopefully you'll see how it catches that, like, it's not even catching the light. It's the part that's not catching the light that's providing that sort of neon green. And it's more vibrant in person. It's just one of those shades that if you want to add something interesting to your look, put this all over your lid, put your liner on, mascara, and off you go. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do some more, but very, very pretty. I kind of want to use the poopy colors down here, partly because I'm wearing this color, so it makes a lot of sense, but I'm going to use maybe these 3. This is a sort of tapered, small, fluffy brush. It's the EO2, and you can see how easy this is to pick up. The mattes are really, really, really pigmented. I'm just going to tap a bit of that off because, let's just see, it's a vibrant color. It's a very pigmented color. So again, I've tapped that off. I'm going a little bit subtly with it. I've just barely touched it, and look how much is on there. So these are very soft. If you're one of those people that love those true indie eyeshadow formulas that are really pigmented, really soft, like this is for you. The really interesting, complex colors and finishes, the really vibrant and bold looks you can get, like this is that palette. Now I'm just going to go into the brown that's next to it, again just touching it quite lightly with the same brush, and I'm just going to build up a bit of depth in that outer corner. Oh, I love how it picks up the pink of that shimmer. So the shimmer, like the green is sort of being hidden a little bit, but that really vibrant coral color is coming through, mixing with the matte. It looks so different. Look, it almost looks like I've reached for Calm. I haven't. I'm curious what Calm looks like, but it almost looks like I've reached for Calm, but it's got that still pop of green on the inner part. I'm just going to go back in and make sure that green part is really quite predominant on the inner portion of the lid, because I didn't do that before. And now that I've covered it up, just be careful with these shades. They're super fragile. Whoa. Whoa. With a smaller sort of tapered pencil, this is the EO4, again from that set. I love that set. I'm just going to say I've gone with that marbled shade. Whoa, it looks like I'm just applying glitter. So this has a very different shimmer profile. So that one's picking up pink. This one's picking up this gorgeous aqua sort of color, which makes sense. We're mixing a blue-green with a bit of gold shimmer. This gives me 100% flaky nail polish vibes. Again, I'm being really delicate with this because I don't want to gouge into the pan, gets on the brush a little bit flaky, but when you do smooth it on, it spreads out. So it's not going to be like chunks that go into your eye. It's just how the pigment sort of sits together. I don't know how this is all going to come together, but it's going to come together one way or another. This looks like it's glow in the dark. It is crazy. I'm going to use some of this green because I feel like that's going to work well with the bottom shade. I'm using the same brush, just again, really lightly because I know that that's a really soft shade. Yeah, super pigmented. So again, that one little touch is doing both eyes. And I'm going to go bring it up here a little bit. Just because I've got so much on my brush. Just with that original fluffy brush, the EO1, I'm just blending that out because I don't want it to be too harsh. I want it to be a bit blended. So let's do some blendy blend. The good thing about these is even though they are super pigmented, they do blend really nicely. So it's not as if you're like putting them on and they're stuck and they look patchy. You can actually do a nice soft blend with them. Okay, I've decided that this is going to be my crazy look where I use like a lot of the colors and experiment. And then I think tomorrow I'm going to go and try using sort of this shade and having it a little bit more pared back. I kind of want to play with this. So this to me reminds me of a nail polish. I'm going to get the nail polish and show you. I'll insert a little bit of a video from my phone, which is a little bit more accurate. This is Hallucinate. It's essentially this sort of purpley blue base with this sort of reddy color shifting shimmer in it. And that's what this shade sort of looks like to me. So if I do spread this out, you'll see that it's got this sort of greeny blue base, which is really interesting. I love it. I think that's really unique. I think I want to wear this one. Again, we're just demonstrating and playing. So I don't know if this is like, the look's maybe not going to turn out how we planned. Did we plan anything? No, we didn't. That actually blends really well with the color next to it because it's got that same kind of reddy shift to it, but it's got that sort of dark blue base. Really pretty. And just while I've got all this going on, I'm just going to take a little bit of Balanced, which is that yellow sort of shade. And I'm just going to see, what does the shimmer look like compared to the other two? Okay, it does actually look a little bit more yellow, which is cool. So we've got shimmers that sort of have that corally pink shift to it. We've got that one that looks quite green. And then you've got one that does add a little bit of flaky yellow in there. So there is some differences, which I like because it means they can all have different effects as toppers. So let's just put some of that right in there. We're traffic lights. We're going traffic lights. I'm afraid if I do any more, I'm going to totally overwhelm the look. So we've got a lot going on. I'm going to do some liner and some mascara and I'll be back. Wow, like that just brings it all together. This color in there, which is sort of like my nail polish, that is my favorite part of this look. It just looks so va-va-voom. Also, I have to say that I was doing my mascara and my liner with a lamp on in a room that's on the other side of the house, so I didn't have the natural light like I've got here. The twinkle is next level. So I'm going to try to insert some footage on my phone of the low light sort of artificial light twinkle because this is stunning. And you can also see all the different colors coming through. Gorgeous. So I'm obsessed with this look. Am I going to wear this every day? No. But do I love it? Hell yeah, I do. I already have some really strong thoughts about this palette based on the look that I've got going on, the one time I've tried this and the swatches, but I will do one more look at least because I don't feel like, even though this really shows you how it applies and some of the beautiful effects, I don't feel like I've touched on a fraction of the options that you could do with this. So I do want to do something a little bit more nude tomorrow. I'm going to save my final thoughts for then, but I'm really thoroughly impressed with this. It's a lot of fun and it's just yummy. It's just yummy. Before I put on my proper makeup for the day, I wanted to test out these two shades just to show you what they look like on their own because I feel like I didn't get to have a good look at them. So this one is on this eye. So it is a very sort of twinkly yellow, pretty. Again, I put that on with a fluffy brush. So if I put it on, again, just tap, 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 and I pick up a little bit more, you can obviously build it up. If you want to actually rub your finger, pick up some more. Like obviously you can go a lot more heavy-handed with it. but it's this soft, twinkly sort of yellow. This one is interesting. So that is that one. And this is what I want to talk about. It's got like this bluey sort of base to it. So that is buffed out. So the base color to it is this dark sort of navy, and then it catches a light with this beautiful red. So similar to that nail polish I showed. So if I tap that on, so again, this is just experimenting before I actually do my look for today. But if you tap it on, you get this vibrant sort of red, but it looks like you're wearing like multiple eyeshadows because you've got this beautiful blue base. So yeah, I wanted to just highlight those, show you what they look like on the eye. Okay, I used this shade and it is extreme. It is, if you've tried the Glaminatrix sort of sparkly, twinkly formulas before, this is like that times 5. It's just super packed full of shimmer. It is very intense, very, very pretty. So you can see it on my eyes. It's beautiful, sort of really packed champagne, glittery sort of prettiness. I did use this shade just in the crease. It is actually such a good crease shade for me because it just looks like a little bit of a shadow. I've got it under here as well. And then I wanted to use this shade because I think this looks quite unique. It's quite an interesting shade. So I've just put that like on the lower lash line, in the outer corner, and up into the crease a little bit, and sort of blended it out. So I could have gone browns for that. There are like other browns that I could have used, like these here. But I wanted to put in some of the red. So that's the look that I'm going to finish off with. Again, it's one of those shades, like all of these shades you need to be very sort of delicate with. This is the least flaky of the shimmers, but these I would recommend just even like just touching your finger in it, and like it picks up quite a lot. Like rubbing your finger, rubbing your brush, it's going to really mess up the pan. So just be really careful with that. Also, this one and that one are really soft. If you like rub your brush back and forth, it's just going to kick up a lot of stuff, but it's very beautiful. So overall, I think this is a really fun palette. It's really beautiful. There's some really like interesting and exciting textures in there, but it's also balanced really nicely with these autumn shades that you can use pretty much in a lot of looks. You can really adapt and change things up. You can use things as toppers. You can obviously mix and match. I really love this shade. This is really interesting with that sort of blue base. Some really interesting things going on here, which I think is gorgeous. Now, I do think this is quite different to Glaminatrix more recent releases. This is a little bit more reminiscent of when they would hand press their own shadows back in the day. I feel like the last, I don't know, like 4 or 5 palettes, this feels different. Now, I don't know, I haven't compared ingredients. I don't know if they are vastly different, but to me, the more recent palettes I think are more sort of suitable for anyone. So even if you're really sort of careless with your makeup and you like a bit rough with it, or you don't tap off your brush, the more recent palettes you can sort of build on things. So the shimmers are a little bit twinkly. If you pack them on, they look quite bold. If you apply them sheerly, they look nice and sheer. The mattes start sort of softer, but you can build on them. They're a little bit firmer. So I felt like there's a little bit, there's more room for like error in those palettes. This one, things are a little bit more fragile. Things are a little bit more artistic. You can get quite bold looks going on with these. Even some of the mattes are really intense. There's just more care that you have to take. Like obviously you have to look after the palette. You don't want it to crack or break, but care particularly when picking up the shadows. Like you can't go in with a fluffy brush and just go in hard, because it's going to kick up so much product. So this is very reminiscent in my eyes of like indie makeup in the late 2010s, where things were quite fragile, really pigmented. You can get those really bold, interesting looks. And people that really were into the craft of makeup really loved them. So I feel like that's where this is going. So I don't think this is going to be for everyone. I don't think this is a daily palette for me. It takes more time to do my makeup. I can't be as rushed and careless with it. But I do like that they're bringing this out, because I know that some people miss this style of makeup, getting that really bold effect, the really interesting textures. You know, you can put your brush in this and you get this instant bright yellow. Like there's something really exciting and fun and creative about it, but it's not for the faint-hearted. So for me, this is not an everyday palette. This is more of a, I've got 45 minutes to do my makeup. I'm going to take my time. It's fun. It's worth it. I'm excited for it, but I think it's different from what they've done previously. So I like that they're doing both. I just want to warn people that this is a little bit more care goes into this one, a little bit more skill. I think I'm mainly going to reach for this palette, to be honest, for these two shades, because they are sort of like one and done, just stand out amazing shades. The fact that you can buff this shade in, get this sort of beautiful like ink blue base with this red shift to it, like, hello, that is stunning. And then this one, which catches sort of like pink, but then it has this like neon green thing going on. Like, I've never experienced these types of shadows before. So this to me is a statement palette. I'm really excited to use it. And this one as well, that green that I had down there, I just kept seeing myself in the mirror and I'm like, that is amazing. So for me, I think I'm going to reach for this predominantly for the shimmers, but the mattes are really beautiful as well. And if you love a pigmented matte, like, here you go. And I, on a side note, really random, this is my perfect brow shade. I've been like touching up my brows with it. Perfect. So yeah, I love this. It's a lot of fun. If you miss those sort of indie makeup days with the really buttery, really textured formulas that have these beautiful effects, like, check out this one. I recommend it. I will have information in the description box and a link where you can get it, as well as my code in case you want to use that. And a big thank you to the Glaminatrix team for sending this over to me. It's very fun. So congratulations. All right, let me know if you picked up this palette. I know a lot of people did, particularly the tones of Turd. That seems to be a very popular option. So if you did and you start getting it, let me know what you think about it. Show me your looks. I think I've got access to the communities tab these days, which is where it's sort of like a forum where people can actually post things on my thing. I've got to set it up. But anyway, if you want to share your looks, I might have that open so you can post your looks. I'm curious because there's a lot of fun to be had with this palette. So thank you so much for watching. Huge thank you to my members for supporting this channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.